How's it going, friends? Welcome back to another video here with me, Arne Huschenbeth, and we are trying out Kevin Anctil's top 8 finishing Timur Prowess? Would you call it that? Timur Beans? What is going on here? Timur Elemental? This is certainly a spicy one that was just able to make top 8 in the regional championship in Canada. In the hands of Kevin Anctil, Pascal Maynard, I think a Pro Tour champion, I believe, or no, a Pro Tour finalist, was apparently the brain behind the operation and his team, of course. And a couple of them played the deck, and one was able to make the top 8, and it is a spicy one. It reminds me a little bit of my the Grixis Alchemy Chorus deck, the Chorus Cutter deck that I played. There, it sort of forgoes the aggressive elements like the Swift Spear, the Slick Shot. A lot of people are playing Draycatcher now, not even playing that, for this really grindy package that you get with this turn in big enough, Up the Beanstalk, of course, and then also Hearth Elemental, which is sort of like a split card between a Tolarian Terror that we've seen in the like blue-green Terror deck. And also a card advantage spell that, you know, when you run out of gas, you can go for Stoke Genius. So I think this deck is just, you know, it doesn't have the Chorus package. It's not drawing 6 cards for 2 mana. But I do think this deck is quite good at keeping the ball rolling and just always having cards in hand, never running out of stuff. So that makes it a lot more resilient against things like Temporary Lockdown, right? Against all the decks that try to beat Izzet Prowess by playing authorities and high noons and like all these enchantments or bigger creatures like demons. You can just bounce them. You have 4 Disdainful big enough, 2 copies of Ephara's Dispersal as well in here. I guess this is sort of like a flexible defensive spell that can, you know, just bounce anything really, and also dig you closer to whatever piece you're missing, or may it be Up the Beanstalk, may it be Cutter. I mean, certainly wild to see this card in a Prowess deck. But yeah, it's kind of like a control deck almost, I would say. Yeah, utilizing the powerful this turn and big enough Up the Beanstalk combo. Roaring Furnace in here as well. A removal spell that can deal with bigger creatures and can also be used to be bounced by this turn and big enough, of course, to then kill something again. And this deck is pretty good at having cards in hand, so I think this is a really great card in the deck. Steaming Sauna, I mean, sure, I could come up, right? Like when you're low on gas, you're playing maybe against a black mid-range deck, they've played a bunch of discard spells, and then you just still have your Furnace, and then at some point you just activate a Sauna and you know, keep drawing cards. And you know, if you're playing as mono black, they just have no way dealing with the Sauna. It will just draw more and more cards, so it seems quite powerful. You can also sack the Furnace, of course, into the 4 copies of Torture Tower here. Really nice Torture Tower deck. Up the Beanstalk sackable, Talon sackable, Roaring Furnace, a lot of stuff going on there. Interestingly enough, no copies of Sleight of Hand. Just playing 4 copies of Opt. Had to make room for Analyze the Pollen. 4 copies, pretty aggressive. Even the blue-green Beans deck doesn't play 4 copies of this card usually. They play like 2 to 3, I think. But yeah, I mean, you can fill your graveyard. This turn I'm big enough, pretty good at enabling the Collect Evidence 8, which is pretty expensive. I'm skeptical on this one. Maybe you'd rather have a couple more Sleight of Hands and less of these, just for a little bit more consistency, you know. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see, I guess. Nonetheless, we can, of course, get the Hearth Elemental with the Analyze the Pollen. That's really the only thing we can get in the main deck. In terms of creatures, you can get a land, but that's not really worth it. Although you could get Tarnation Vista, which I'm going to touch on in a second, which is a really sweet inclusion as well. Yeah, I mean, it just keeps the gas flowing and helps you make land drops, I suppose. But I'm a little skeptical on that, and I would say that maybe Sleight of Hand is valuable. Some Izzet Prowess have picked up Abrade in the main deck to fight the mirror match. Here we see a spicy one. Heritage Reclamation. This card is very well positioned in Standard. You know, it has some matchups where it's not great, like Demir midrange maybe, or stuff like mono red, where it doesn't really do anything, but at least in those matchups, you can still just 2-mana cycle it and draw a card in a way with the last ability. But then in the mirror match, you can blow up the cutter, of course, but you can also use it in response to them activating level 2 when they target a spell to return. Boom, you can just exile that spell and draw a card. That seems even better to me than blowing up the Talon in response, because you get up a card in that exchange. And additionally, one of the most brutal cards you could have in your main deck against Omniscience has that ability to, at instant speed, exile their Omniscience in response to Nobelo's Awakening in game 1 is rather brutal, because they don't really have counterplay in game 1. Post-board, they might have, a few things, counter spells, Voice of Victory, a big one against Heritage Reclamation, but game 1, they do not. Yeah, so really cool. And then last but not least, Tarnation Vista. Yes, many of you might not even know that this card is legal in Standard. It is a little bit like Nyktos in a way. It is a tapped land that you can choose a color on. Sort of like in Alchemy, you have the Crossroads. This is kind of like the Crossroads, but it comes always into play tapped. But then you can tap it for 1, and for each color among monocolored permanents you control, add 1 mana of that color. In this deck, you can make a lot of mana with this. How come? You have green permanents in Beanstalk. You have blue-red in with the Otter, so that is already 2 colors in 1 card. And you have red, of course, with Cutter and Hearth Elemental. And you have white with the Monk. So this card is able to create 4 mana. So essentially, if you tap it, you can add 3 mana. If you have a Monk, a Beanstalk, and a blue and a red permanent. So it's a land that taps for up to 3 mana. That is rather broken, as we all know. Lands that tap for 3 mana, really, really good. Lands that tap for 2 mana, also quite powerful. And 2 mana is pretty doable. You just need a Talent and a Beanstalk. So yeah, that's where we see for Tarnation Vista here. And I suppose the Analyze the Pollen will probably come up that you fetch the Tarnation Vista at some points too. It is a tap land in a deck that has a lot of 1-drops that wants to curve out and play Cori-Steel Cutter plus a spell. So having 4 tap lands is really rough. But hey, maybe it is worth it. We'll see. It certainly was enough for Kevin to make a top 8. 19 lands in total here before Analyze the Pollen. A little interesting to see 5 basic lands, especially 2 islands, 2 mountains, and only 2 copies of Spirebluff Canal. Spirebluff Canal, so one of the best lands in this deck. I would kind of lean towards doing this naturally. I think the main argument for running this many basics is to Analyze the Pollen. But yeah, I mean, maybe there will be a situation where you need like the second mountain or the second island. But I think theoretically 3 basics is already enough. So I would lean towards this being better, and then maybe playing some sleight of hands and only playing 2 Analyze the Pollens. Something like that would be what my initial sort of, if somebody would ask me how I would improve the deck, or what I would do. But I have not really played the deck. The team has worked behind it, so I'm just gonna run with it as is, and then during the video, during the gameplay, I'm gonna keep on analyzing and observing how I feel about this sort of mana base. Analyze the Pollen also being a tap land for what it's worth, because, costing a mana, it's a lot of tap lands. That is, I think, maybe the downfall of this deck ultimately. We'll see how it plays out. I don't want to be too pessimistic, but it's certainly cautious of that. And maybe, yeah, you want to play something like Sleight of Hand. Let's take a quick look at the sideboard. We have a Change the Equation to Disdainful Strokes, some counter magic there, Abrades in addition to the Heritage Reclamation, 2 Obstinate Baloth to cover the Pixie matchups, 3 more copies of Into the Flood Maw, plus the 4 this time ain't big enough. Wow. That is pretty hefty, I'd say. I'm not quite sure what the reasoning behind that is. Maybe they like it so much against demons, and maybe even in the mirror match and against mono red. I mean, there's reasons, there's arguments you can make for Into the Flood Maw. that is good against like Screaming Nemesis and Monsters Rage decks, and then also good against the bigger creature stuff. But before this turn ain't big enough, I feel like it's kind of redundant already. I don't love that. I'm just gonna make that comment. 2 Pyroclasm, a little flexibility sweeper, another Heritage Reclamation, and then we have 2 spicy one-off creatures here. I like that. We do play Analyze the Pollen, and so we should maximize this card by having useful cards we can find. For example, you could play 1 copy of Reclamation Sage in your sideboard, so you have a way to blow up, to turn all your analyzers into disenchants, for example. But yeah, here we're going with Keen-Eyed Curator, very good against Omniscience, of course. Not interested in Scavenging Ooze. I guess that due to the fact that Scavenging Ooze needs green mana to be activated. And I suppose paying the double green up front is easier than holding up green and having rather the colorless option there. I'm sure they thought about both. You can also find Obstinate Baloth if Analyze the Pollen for what it's worth. And then a copy of Twinmaw Stormbrood. This is just a removal spell you can find with the Analyze the Pollen. I mean, theoretically, you can actually hardcast this thing, gain 5 life, trigger Up the Beanstalk with the 6-drop. With the Tarnation Vista, you can maybe ramp it out, and then you can bounce it with those town ain't big enough. Keep gaining 5 life, making a bunch of mana. You can really go crazy. But yeah, last but not least, before we jump into the gameplay, Tarnation Vista, really a broken effect if you can utilize it, and very, very powerful with Stormchaser's talent and this turn it big enough. As the talent becomes even more powerful, the more mana you have, the more you can use those level 2 and level 3 effects to maximize the effect of this card. And at that point, you're doing really broken stuff. And that's what I want to do in this video, and I hope we get to do some of that. And without further ado, let's jump into the gameplay. Well, we're off to a rocky start here. Yeah. I don't think that I can keep this. This is just... I have 1 cheap card and then I have 2 extremely clunky cards, 4 lands. Don't think this is a keep. Okay, this I can work with. I'm leaning towards just going very aggressively here with something like talent. This turn ain't big enough, bounce my talent. Have a lot of prowess creatures, hit them. Go talent, coast, talent, analyze for mountain. Courtyard, hopeless nightmare. I would really like to keep all my cards, not gonna lie. Maybe just this town. I think I'm going with this town. I mean, the Pixie deck, it's not really... They could play a Preacher turn 3. Tough decision. I mean, I wish I would have been able to discard the island. I guess we know what to discard next if they go for another Pixie or Nightmare. I can return this down the line, is what I'm thinking. But yeah, if they have a Preacher here on turn 3, well, I guess never punished. Yeah, I don't know. That was a tricky one. Maybe I should have discarded a talent, but I mean, didn't get punished. This could have been a Spirebluff Canal for what it's worth. Like if these two would have been... One of them would have been a Spirebluff in my... Okay, yeah, that's pretty good, because it allows them to... Yeah. Even if I get my stuff back, they get to trigger these, which kind of... Yeah, those cards are kind of forever locked. Do I want to wait a turn with this Hearth Elemental, or do I just pull it off here? I feel like I'm under no immediate pressure. I'm gonna wait a turn, but I'm not super sure about that. Okay. Now I kind of just want to hardcast it. Pixie is not that good at dealing with 4/5s. They have Momentum Breaker and like Get Lost usually. Okay. How does this trigger? I get my autos first, right? So the Momentum Breaker actually doesn't kill that. Oh, it does? Shit. Oh yeah, my triggers go on a stack first. That's kinda unfortunate. Oh, that was pretty rough. I did not consider that line. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Okay, fair enough. They get to pick if they get to get rid of my last card, that's gonna be rough. I hope they can't. I need this Hearth Elemental. Okay. 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 I'm at 13. Okay. Yeah. Not optimal, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I could go for Hearth Elemental and just play it and then play this elemental next turn. Maybe that's good, but I get kind of blown out by this stuff again. Huh. I kind of want to find Beanstalk. I could also just get a land and draw 2 cards. I think I like that a little bit more. I guess I can get the Tarnation Vista here. I guess I put it on green. Maybe rather have it on red. Because I already have like a red card here. For next turn. Right, like I have the Elemental, and if I draw like a Cutter, then I can go Cutter plus Elemental. If I put this on green, I can't do that. There's the Preacher. Yeah, I really need to find Beanstalk. Again, I think this is a little too maxed out on these analyzers. I think you want to have Sleight of Hand instead of some. That's sort of where my head is at right now, at least. Put that one on green. Because Sleight of Hand finds you Beanstalk. Beanstalk is... Beanstalk and Cutter. Like, Beanstalk and Cutter are like 2 of the best cards in Standard, right? And Sleight of Hand being able to find those, while Analyze doesn't really. Analyze does find you this, but it gets a little bit redundant. Also, like, Hearth Elemental, not the best card in multiples, as you saw there. It does find you the Vista, I suppose, but I don't know how important that is. Alright. Opponent has the answers for everything, and I don't really have any card advantage, right? Like, this does not play Stalk up. Oh, second Preacher. Okay. Alright, is this gonna be fast enough? I guess I'm just gonna... Oh, man, I'm losing so much life, it's the problem. But I do have some blockers here. I guess I'm just gonna get another Hearth Elemental here. Right? Wait, I can already... No, this doesn't generate mana right now. It's mana equal. Yeah. I'll analyze for another Hearth Elemental. Yeah. Okay, I mean, that's kind of cool, I guess. Can sort of chain them. But again, I don't know if you need like 4 analyzers. 2, 3 might be enough, you know. No attacks. Yeah, it's just the Preacher is phenomenal here. I don't know. I mean, I guess I'll chump block with 1. I think I want to keep the Monk around for now. Maybe I should chump block with both. Maybe my life is just that precious. And like I need to really somehow get into the late game. Okay. Okay, wow. Okay. Huh. Interesting. Interesting, interesting. Now this creates mana already, for what it's worth. So if I use tap, how for each color at 1 mana of that color? Okay. Let's start with this. And then if I find Beanstalk, these generate a ton of mana. Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. Okay. Okay. No Beanstalk. No ability to draw any more cards. Torch the tower, not very good here either. So I can generate 2, 4, 6, 7 mana. I have 7 mana right now. Okay. I guess I'll start. I guess I'll just cast this. Oh, they automatically use the Vista for me. That's kind of nice. I could have mapped first, whatever. No. I could give this haste, theoretically. But then this doesn't have haste. So this is 4, 9, 10. I have 10 damage maximum here. 10 is not enough. Let's pump this one again. That's gonna stay. Let's attack with this. I should have just let the Cori be here. That was a mistake. Maybe I should have attacked with more. This turn ain't big enough is maybe exactly the tempo card I need here to somehow cheese out a victory. I'm gonna bounce the lockdown, yeah. Interesting. I guess I don't have responses to that. Yeah. What is happening now? They bounced the Nightmare. Yeah. I need to discard the Mountain, I guess. Yeah. I guess I could have sacked this. I mean, they're gonna lock down anyways, doesn't matter. Yeah, I guess I just shoot this for 2. I don't know. Doesn't really. I guess I should have probably shot one of these. Whatever. Don't think it's. Yeah, it would have been better to shoot one of these. I mean, because like now they're gonna play lockdown and I can't even like block, right? I can only block with this, which has to block. And then I have 0 board. Yeah, they kind of got me in a twist here. Because I need to bounce the lockdown to get back into the game. Yeah, I mean, I was just too low on... Like this whole stuff was just all too good, the synergies. Opponent played this game very well too. They didn't like make any mistakes. They just put on full pressure, realizing kind of what they had to do. I might down to 3 life for what it's worth, but the problem is the Nightmare is killing me here. I have like one life too few. If I had 1 more life, I might actually win this turn. It's kind of wild. Maybe. Nah, I mean, I'm not able to win, but yeah, now I'm dead. All right. Pawn played this well. It was a little bit like, I feel like this matchup is a lot better when you draw Beanstalk, for what it's worth. Okay. What are we doing? A Spell Pierce, I think we don't want. Dispersal, we don't want. Torch is medium. Not sure I like the Flood Maw. Spell Pierce is kind of interesting, I guess, because it does deal with Hopeless Nightmare and also Lockdown, maybe also Alex. Maybe it's fine. I like the Twinmaw. I like the Reclamation, the Baloth. Spell Pierce. Yeah, maybe Spell Pierce is good on the play. I have like 8 answers to the creatures plus torches. Torch only good against the small flyers, which are on the play, maybe less annoying when I'm on the play. So maybe I can do this. Could also kick out the Flood Maw. Play another Torch. Flood Maw is really bad against the small creatures, but decent against Breacher. Let's try it like this. I think this is roundabout correct. Just unsure about a few numbers. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I really think this deck wants to play all 8, or I don't know, more cantrip effect. Seem nice in this deck. I don't know if you have to go full on the Hearth Elemental stuff. I mean, I get it with the Beanstalk, I suppose. You really want to maximize cards that are like that work well with Beanstalk. I'm not sure you have to do that. It is a painless source of green, but I don't want any more lands. Spell Pierce. I don't think I'm really scared about like a Hopeless Nightmare here. Well, now I'm actually elated if they cast Hopeless Nightmare. Oh yeah. All right. I think we're gonna steamroll them this game. Let's start with Opt without playing the land in case I find another fast land here randomly. Do I actually want lands? I might actually, huh? My hand, I kind of have everything. It's not the best land. Yavimaya Coast is pretty painful. I think I'm actually going to be happy keeping it. I don't know, I feel like from what I learned playing the Grixis Chorus deck in Alchemy is that you want to make like land drops every turn. And this deck seems similar in a way. Yeah. I do have to have 2 targets, right? I guess I bounce my own Baloth. Bouncing Lauren or Nightmare doesn't seem that appealing. Could bounce the Nightmare, I guess. Maybe that's fine. Bouncing Baloth makes future Nightmares terrible. But like the pressure on board is really nice. I'm not sure. Not sure. Well, okay. I'm gonna play another Beans. Also interesting to me that they're playing Karplusan Forest instead of Copperline Gorge. Right? So now they might try to Lauren my thing again. So I could just Furnace this. I think that's pretty reasonable. Considering my hand, like they could like Pixie the Lauren, right? Considering my hand is pretty good against like Shieldred Breacher right now, if they do that. I have this town. And if they have Pixie Nightmare, I have Baloth. This is, yeah, I mean, that's like actively bad for them actually, because I can blow this up and then yeah. I guess the Furnace doesn't trigger, which is annoying. Like it just comes into play without being unlocked. All right. Anyways. Loving my position, that is for sure. And yeah, I'm happy I kept the Yavimaya Coast. I feel like this game would have been problematic if I didn't have my 4th land. I definitely feel like I made the right call there. I could blow this up. Put a Baloth into play. And then I would draw a card with Beanstalk. They would have Nightmare. Oh no, well, they would still have only 4 cards and I have 5, right? No, that's not true. No, that's not true actually. We have equal cards. If my math isn't completely wrong. Pure upside. Baloth. And they have Nightmare and Little Lockdown. That's so sick that you can like bounce your own Baloth. Yeah, we have equal cards. They get the fish and life, but that's fine. Okay. I can just deal 5 to this with the Furnace. Seems like a pretty nice turn. Yeah. I guess I can't really attack with the otters that effectively doing that, but I think that's okay. I don't need to be in a rush here. This deck has an incredible late game, so I really don't need to play the aggressive role. Like, we have everything covered. This matchup seems kind of nice, to be honest. When you draw like Beanstalk, and I guess when you draw Baloth. But I don't know if I necessarily needed the Baloth this game. I would have had like, I could have discarded maybe some cards and still have like all these engine pieces, right? Like that's what really matters, having like cards that make you more cards against Pixie, as they're so good at, you know, trimming down your resources, trimming down your cards. Yeah. Okay. So like nowhere to run Kirin right now on their side as options. Do I want to distone anything? Kind of like to make more land drops. I'm thinking about distowning my talent and my furnace. I think I'm gonna just do so. It might be a little bit aggressive, but I really want to make land drops, so then I can also return the distown with the talent. And I would love to find Tarnation Vista. Tarnation Vista seems broken here. Kind of liking what's going on here. I'm kind of liking it. I certainly like it in this matchup. I feel like you have a lot of very nice tools to work with here. Okay, I wish I would have made a land drop. What are we doing? I think we're putting on a little bit of pressure, maybe. By playing Cutter plus talent. I could also just play Beanstalk and play it slow. The thing is, if they have land plus lockdown, honestly, I think I'm just playing it slow. I think I'm playing it slow. I don't need to be in a rush. I don't need to try to kill them here. I'm at 20 life. They don't really have any end game that I can't beat. I can interact with everything. I have Furnace. I can just play another Beanstalk, and that just makes the lockdown so bad. If I have like multiple Beanstalks under the lockdown, that's just really bad. Just doesn't want to find a land though. All right, well. I guess I'm just gonna opt for a land. I don't feel great about it. But like if I don't hit the land, I'm like don't have the 2 mana up, but it doesn't seem super important to have Heritage Reclamation up, to be honest. Yeah, I mean this is just like I feel like I have 110% to win this game. Like minus 10% for my opponent to lose to actually be able to win this game. Sure. I'm just gonna kill the fish. They could have waited. It's definitely wrong sequencing. They could have just let the damage happen and then -3/-3, so I can't torch it. I'm gonna hold up the spell piece. And this feels nice. This feels nice. Yeah. This feels very nice. Not gonna lie. Okay. Didn't see any pixie stuff. Conceivably, I could see cutting one of these too. I feel like this is the type of deck that doesn't really need that card. I think that's not outrageous to do. Play like another torch on the draw. I feel like I just have a way better late game than my opponent. Could also cut one of these, I think. Pretty good in the matchup, though. The spell pierce may be just completely unnecessary, to be fair. Like, it didn't look like I care much about lockdown. And on the draw, it's going to be harder to counter Hopeless Nightmare, like if they play a turn 1. that felt so lopsided. Jesus Christ. I can see the appeal in this matchup for sure. I feel like is it Prowess against Pixie is certainly not the easiest matchup for Prowess. And this feels easy to me. I mean, easy is a strong word, but at least if you draw Beanstalk, I feel like this matchup is extremely good. This hand is not great. Doesn't have Baloth, doesn't have Beanstalk, but it's kind of functional. They get my 2-mana removal spell. The downside of that card, I guess. Alright. Yeah, my hand is not very good. But it is a 7-card hand against a Nightmare deck, so you can discard your shitty cards. Which I have, like extra lands, extra Analyze. Like Torch, maybe not that good here. Just, yeah. Oh, wow. That is a harsh move. You know most of my hand, my friend. Yeah, right. I mean, playing another talent actually pretty bad into... Maybe I'm not going to do that, actually. Then I shouldn't have played my island, though. I should have just played the mountain. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's okay. No, I kind of punted. Like, if I play Talent, I missed the damage there. It's like, if I play Talent, the lockdown is just those 2 talents, so that if I ever find an answer to it, it's really good for me. And the talent doesn't return anything good anyways right now. Yeah, I missed the point there. I think I'd be actively happy if they play a lockdown here. Yeah, this I didn't want to see. This card I didn't want to see. Alright, I'm gonna... I guess just another mountain, huh? I mean, here you see me actually utilizing analyzers for 2 mountains. But if you had less analyzers in your deck and more Spirebluff Canal, you also would be less pressured into finding mountains, right? Because you have more red sources anyways. I'd be super happy trading my Torch plus an order against this Preacher. That's also why I'm staying back with 1 order. Okay. Doing this pre-combat is a little weird. They have 1 mana up now. Okay. Well, I'm happy to do this trade. If they would have had no way to run mana up, I would have just let it take 1 and then sack a Stormchaser's Talent. I get a Scry, and that's pretty good against my Hearth Elemental. Oh, that's nice. Okay. Beautiful. They have a Momentum Breaker, so I'm just gonna attack. Not making illusions that I'm able to block. They do this. I'm not gonna play my Hearth Elemental into your Momentum Breaker, my friend, without having a Monk as well. So ambitious thinking there on their side to be able to hope to get my guy there. I could just activate Talent. But my graveyard is pretty unappealing. I'm just gonna Torch, make an Elemental. Man, I'm really liking the idea of this deck, that's for sure. Like, the Tiston ain't big enough, makes it so easy to re-trigger Cori-Steel Cutter to always have cards going. Like, I can certainly see why you don't need stock up. Okay, sure, you get to kill my Elemental, fine. I don't know how I feel about... Yeah, no, I should play this, right? Like, even if they top deck Hopeless Nightmare, I have these talents to get my Diston back. Blue or green? I think just blue? Right, maybe green? Alright, I'll put it on green, whatever. Okay, friend, you get to kill my Hearth Elemental. Huge victory for you. Not really. Best card would be Beanstalk again to draw. Botanical Sanctum, not quite Beanstalk. I guess I'll just get an Hearth Elemental, right? Yeah. Seems good. Yeah, the endgame of this deck is unreal. It does not run out of cards. So the worry I have with this deck is maybe something like mono red with 4 lizards, right? That could be problematic. Here's what this is. No, this time I'm big enough with Hearth Elemental. I have to use this before I can also get Baloth. Before I draw 2. I guess what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna bounce these talents, play them again, and play Elemental. Okay. Opt. I think I'm just gonna torch the Lauren. with my talent. Nope. Just keep their resources low. The only way they come back here is like a Preacher or an Annex. This, if they would draw 2 cards per turn, they could come back. This stops them, and I think I keep the Coast in my hand for a discard. Okay. Yeah. All right. Solidly in the driver's seat now. Huh. Why does this not make red mana right now? Like, why is it not making 2 mana? Okay, because maybe it's... Maybe I have a blue and a red card, right? Oh, shouldn't it say 1? Shouldn't it say more? I'm a little confused right now. It doesn't count the others as red cards. Isn't this a red card? Isn't this a red permanent? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I guess I mistapped here though. I should have left the mountain untapped. I punted that one. I didn't. Oh, I guess I didn't. I couldn't have cast it anyways. Guess didn't matter. All right, so now we're returning this town. I guess. We could also get another Hearth Elemental with the Analyze. Let's see. I mean, the world is my oyster, really. I think I'm not... Yeah. I think I'm just gonna do this. And return at this town and attack them for 2. That's all I'm gonna do. That leaves me in a pretty nice situation. Yeah, nothing can really happen to me. I'm holding up the Heritage as well. I have a blocker for the Fortress. I can start poking them. I can really play this patiently, play this just very chill. No rush. Now it makes 2. Interesting. So these don't count as red cards. Interesting. Okay. That makes it a little worse. Happy to reset all that. So wait a minute, the nowhere to run trigger. Yeah, the nowhere to run doesn't do anything here. It's just gonna give -3/-3 to this thing. Because I don't get the others in play before they have to target. Yeah. All right, sweet. That matchup seems good, I'd say. We lost game 1, we mulliganed to 6. They had a strong Preacher draw. I guess takeaway from game 1 is that maybe you want to have another answer to a Preacher. I don't know, honestly. Like, between 2 Furnace and then 4 this town is big enough and the Flood Maw, I feel like you have enough answers to Preacher. All right, next one. Love to play first. I'd love to mulligan this hand. Oof. Yeah, I mean, do we need to play this Dispersal card? It's a lot of interaction. I think not playing Sleight of Hand is an oversight. I don't know. Maybe I should go to 5. I think I should go to 5. Yeah. That's good. That's good. That's better. I wish I would know the matchup to make a good decision here. Like I might put away the Opt if I know I'm like against Omni. If I know I'm against Mono Red, I would do this. You know, but I don't know what I'm up against, so I'm just gonna do this, I guess. The double Vista, certainly awkward. Black. That was a fantastic draw. Okay. Oh, blue-black. Okay. No deep cavern bad. Maybe Preacher next turn. Dispersal. I don't know if I love this card. Put this on red and pass. I guess I have to worry about Kaito here. I guess not. Didn't even threaten the Kaito. That's a weak play, if I may say so. Should at least threaten it. This card sucks. Jesus Christ, it's bad here. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna do this. Okay. We didn't have Kaido last turn. Keep doing this, I guess. Okay. I like how this game is going. This seems pretty unlosable now. We'll play this. They could have Curiosity here, draw a card. I kind of want to make more land drops. I think I'm just going to hold up my instants. I'm going to have 3 of them. It's certainly not an easy deck to play. A lot of stuff going on. Pretty decision heavy. I don't think we need that. Okay. There's a little bit of an anti-synergy here with the reduction on the elemental. All right. I might just get a land, to be honest. I think that's best. Funny. Let's start with Furnace. Probably have a Flood Pits Drowner. Maybe go for the Road. And then just land drops, I guess. I did tap badly. I have to be more careful. This deck is tricky to play. You have to be more careful with your lands here. Although, actually, no, never mind. We can abuse the Vista here. We can finally abuse the Vista a little bit. I'm stupid. I'm not stupid. It's fine, I guess. But now I don't... The way I did it, yeah, I was stupid. I messed up. I needed to... No, actually, there was no way of me doing it differently, was there? Whatever. All right, so now we can analyze. How much free instant? Yeah, I don't want to exile stuff from my graveyard right now. I'm just gonna get a land. I'm just gonna get a basic guy I am. Upon just giving up. Yeah, I mean, looking at my board, I understand that they were not in a winning position. This card looked really bad. I also don't like this. Just like, look at this. What the heck were they thinking? I mean, all due respect, Kevin and Pascal, like, what the heck? I mean, I'm a Flood Maw believer. I'm a Discount believer. Yes, this is good in the other deck as well, but this is going too deep. You keep like 10 times the same-ish effect. Guys, relax. This is a little too deep. You went a little bit too deep down the rabbit hole, if I may say so. And look at my sideboard. I barely have cards for this matchup. Presumably, it's already a good matchup, but like this could have been like 2 obliterating bolts or something like that. You know what I mean? Rebel Cell. Well, I don't know. Unable to scream even or some stuff like that. Something that I can side in is a normal actual removal spell, you know, like not just bounce everything. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, Heritage Reclamation destroys Curiosity, which is not where you want to be. I think I'm just going to bring in a Braid. It doesn't seem great, to be honest, but it deals with Ghost Vacuum, which they will bring in, I'm sure. Yeah, this also deals, and it can like kill a Deep Cavern bad. Flood Pit's Jonah, Sanctuary. It's fine. It's better. It seems better than the Reclamation to me. Is Pyroclasm good here? I wonder. It's gonna be good against some of their draws at least. I'm not sure about this Reclamation card. I don't love it. Let's try out a Pyroclasm. I think 2 Flood Maw for this turn and big enough is a solid number. I could go higher on the Flood Maw. I mean, I can see the Flood Maw compared to at least the Dispersal. I think the Dispersal is just super, like that's just going really deep. It is a 3-mana card for the Analyze, I guess. That's sort of the idea behind it. Like you get to have a 3-mana card that goes to the graveyard, and then +1 this turn and big enough, you can fetch a Hearth Elemental. That's sort of the big brain idea, probably. But I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's just so bad of a card, you know. They have to take Pyroclasm here. I'm pretty sure about that. They can unfortunately Kaido me. What just happened? Okay, I guess they don't have to take Pyroclasm. This concession again. That was a good Pyroclasm, not gonna lie. I don't want to play my Beanstalk into a Spell Pierce or whatever this may be. Phantom Interference type stuff. It's like my only powerful card right now. I need it. Okay. I think now I'm gonna do it. Because no, if they have a negate, they have to either negate or Curiosity, and all the other effects don't do anything. They have Tidebinder. It's a little annoying, but my Beanstalk is resolved. That's all that matters. I'm just gonna pass the turn, I think. I think I'm just gonna Abrade here. Keep the Torch. Torch is great against Curiosity. They didn't have Ghost Vacuum until now, so I'm like, my draw is also not Ghost Vacuum dependent right now. All right, I guess I'll just Flood Maw that without taking damage. These mountains are a little awkward. Okay. Would be nice to have maybe like a couple copies of Stock Up. Although I guess you do have like Hearth Elemental in that sort of slot. Right? Phantom Interference. They keep it. Me knowing about it, yeah? These mounts are super awkward. Okay. That was a good draw, kinda. I'm gonna play a Shieldred. What are we doing? I could get an Abrade and just double kill the Shieldred. Then we have a lot of time. I could get Opt. I think I should just get a Braid, honestly. Wow. Alright. Well, I mean, is it Prowess has a good matchup against Dimir? It's like a 55 to 60% matchup already, but this seems even more solid, I would almost say. Like, this seems very good. I feel like these black decks, whatever they are, maybe Demons, Pixie, or Dimir, they look like really good matchups. Which is, that's good. That's good, you know? I guess what I'm worried about is a little bit like the mirror matches. Like, is the Prowess matchup actually that good? Or the mono red matchup? I'm a little, I don't know about that. Okay. Sure. Like, Prowess, Monastery Swift Spear, you know? Alright, we're gonna see it. We're gonna see how this matchup goes. Just play Beanstalk? Or Cutter? Playing Cutter is better if I find a Torch the Tower next turn, right? So I don't have double red. This can get punished by a Braid. But it's also better against the Spell Pierce that my opponent could have. So it's like better in case I draw a Torch. Although it's a little awkward with the Torch because, well, no, not anymore. It's like I would need to like play it like this. So I could also hit Flood Maw or Torch or Dispersal, I guess. Here's again a spot where Dispersal is just hella awkward because Dispersal is not that good at proactively casting your Steel Cutter. Dispersal has to be bad. Sorry, but like has to be bad. I could also play these two because this Slick Shot is scaring me a little bit. Could start with the Opt. If I find a Torch, I could play Analyze for a land. Hold up the Torch. Alright, well, I guess I'm gonna take a beating this turn. Slick Shot Gamer. A lot of lands. 4 lands in total. Pretty bad. This can be a Hearth Elemental down the line, I guess. Alright, there we go. Is it doing the is it thing? I'm probably siding in Pyroclasm in this matchup. Okay. Yeah. I guess I could have stayed back with the Monk. Let me think about this. So the reason to play this first is so I don't take a damage from these. But if I draw a 1-drop with this, that's actually good. I'd rather use my mana on Dispersal plus 1-drop, of course. Like a Torch the Tower would be supreme. Spell Pierce, okay. Well, interesting. Very, very interesting. I could just play Yavimaya Coast and pass the turn here. And Spell Pierce plus Dispersal likely. This will become a 4/4. I kind of like the idea of that. I also get Monks. And then maybe I can use Analyze after Surveilling to get me a Hearth Elemental. Then we go crazy. Yeah, let's pierce that. How about we pierce that? I could be more patient, but I kind of want to deny them a land drop. I think denying them a land drop is crucial here. This could go pretty well for me here. All right, I'm gonna go really aggro. This is gonna be a 6/3, 6/4, 5/2. Oh, they leave that. Oh, interesting. That's smart. So they kind of suspect I have another play here. I would love to bounce this and then find a torch. Block here, I guess. Trade. That was definitely smart by them. Not to re-equip. All right, fair enough. Getting rid of this forever. I think that's the call. I don't know. I mean, Slick Shot costing 2 mana is a lot. All right, let's just get rid of you, I guess. Oh, I have 0 on the rope, by the way. I gotta play a little faster. Decline that, although it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I guess it does. Oh. Don't think I can keep that, actually. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I could, like the cutter, yeah, I needed to put the cutter in the grave. Now we can do this. Go for Analyze. Exile. I mean, Dispersal good at enabling the Analyze here, to be fair. Maybe do this. Yeah. Keep the torch for future talents, which unlikely to happen, but could. All right. And now, I guess we just draw 2. I could also play a Spirebluff Canal. And then draw 2 next turn. Don't deal myself damage. And have another non-damage land in play. Tricky. This deck is tricky to play. I'm just gonna go for higher upside. I don't know. Like I could find a Stormchaser's talent, I guess, here, which I could cast. Okay. Okay. The elemental costing 4 is super annoying. I mean, I could definitely die here if I do this. They could go like Swift Spear Rage. Would be plenty of damage. The Swift Spear would be a 5. They go Burst Lightning Rage, I would also die. They go Flood Maw Rage, I would die. The question is, am I ever beating another Rage? So if they go Swift Spear Rage, the Swift Spear becomes a 5. This is a 2, this is a 2. I block a 2, take 7. I guess I could stay back with 1 guy, but it's so much damage right now. I think I just have to play as if they don't have Rage. If they just have Torch plus Swift Spear, it's 6 damage. I just have to hope they don't have Rage. Okay. Yeah, I still lose to Rage, I think. Or lose to land 2 spells. Okay. It's more damage if you kill my otter. For next time. Oh, man. I mean, I get to draw 2 cards here, I guess. I guess Vista is a little late here. Yeah. I think I have to just do this. This is a little risky here. I wish I had a Spirebluff Canal right now. Because if I draw 2 blue spells, like I won't be able to use both of them. Okay. Okay. Jesus. Yeah, I mean, the Prowess matchup, my opponent is stuck on 2 mana and they still seem to be winning against me. Okay, so this is 2, 4, 6. Oh man, I had almost lethal with the Hearth Elemental. The Hearth Elemental, 1 cheaper, it could have given it haste. It would have been exactly 9. Damn it. The equipment there. But I already made my land drop. Alright, I don't think I'm going to re-equip. I'm going to take another blue. Honestly, I don't know what to do here. The rope is ticking, so I don't know. I think I'm just gonna do this. But now, like, then you just need like a removal and a spell, and I guess I'm not dead. No, this actually works. This actually works. I mean, I'm dead to rage, but I'm not dead to spell plus removal. So we have 2 free-frees and a 2/2. The 2/2 will come through, so put me to 1. But I can eat both free-frees. Like if they have removal here on a monk, I'm not dead. I definitely flooded out a little bit. Like my draw wasn't the best. My opponent would have had lethal if they would have just killed my order, by the way. Then I would have been at 0 right now. I mean, if they have triple spell, I'm dead. I can't beat triple spell. Alright, well, I did... Oh no, actually I can. What the heck? They don't have a removal. Sorry. I mean, if they have rage, I'm dead, but if they just have an opt, I live. I have Flood Maw. Alright. Yeah, I did flood a little bit, but you could see like the pain lands, goofing around with like beanstalks, not drawing any discounting big enough. You could say my draw was pretty bad, I guess. Their draw was not great either. They missed land drops, of course. Like, if I would have had a discounting big enough, this game would have probably been... Like, it did flood out pretty heavily. These analyzers were lands. The Spirebluff I also discarded, so I drew like 6, 9, 10 analyze sort of being 10 lands-ish, 10 lands in top 37. Play 23 lands, certainly not optimal. Okay. Furnace, probably not good here. Dispersal, Jesus, I just hate this card. I mean, yes, it enables the analyzers, but the awkwardness is just so rough. Drake Hatcher, I guess, could be a thing. That would be a reason to run Furnace. I don't know what my opponent's up to over there. Certainly want to bring in the Abrades. The Pyroclasms could actually be... They would have been good that game. Can I like more Flood Maws, maybe? I think 2 Abrade, 2 Reclamation is fine. I don't need the 5th effect of that nature. The Stormbrood doesn't kill Slickshot. The Dispersal is okay, as is the Flood Maw. I don't know. I think I'm gonna have the Pyroclasms on the draw, but not on the play, is my thinking. It's just, I want to be a little bit more proactive. I just really dislike the awkwardness of Dispersal. I guess I'm keeping, but his hand is certainly iffy. It's kind of neat that I can go talent, they go talent, and then I bounce the order, get my talent back. That's a pretty nice line of play. This Hearth Elemental has been weird. The whole Analyze the Pollen's Hearth Elemental stuff has been weird. What has impressed me is this town plus Beanstalk. That has been very strong. Beanstalk, really messed up card with this town ain't big enough. Tarnation Vista we haven't really used yet. My opponent never cast Stalk up that game either. It's kind of funny. Yeah. I wish I had Stalk up here, like Beanstalk. They seem very important. They seem more important than this stuff. This card just can be very awkward at times, especially if you don't run the Sleight of Hands. Like, I'm starting to really become convinced that you want to have 4 Sleight of Hands in this deck. Like, you gotta be kind of crazy to not run 4 Sleight of Hands, I feel like. If I cast this really runs into the Spell Pierce, which my opponent has been kind of representing right now. But I also have 2 of these, and I'm stuck on mana. So, what can I do? I'm kind of bottlenecked into running into the Spell Pierce here, which is really unfortunate. Just a shitty draw. Maybe I should have mulliganed. Maybe it was too ambitious holding this and keeping this hand. I had mana issues. Maybe I should have opted there too. Yeah, this both game 1 and game 2, we are just not doing a very good impression of this deck, I feel like. Yeah, maybe it was bad of me to keep this. But yeah, I mean, if you don't have a card like Stalk Up is a very nice card to just glue things together, and having like Sleight of Hand and Opts also glue things together. And Hearth Elemental needs glue. Beanstalk needs glue. This turn ain't big enough needs glue. Like, they all need their pieces to work well. So not playing 4 Sleight of Hand just seems outright crazy to me at this point after playing a little bit of this deck. Crazy is a strong word, but I think you understand what I'm saying. Oh, I really need that card. I think I need to keep it. Maybe I can high roll into a red source. And I can also hope that they just have a slow hand. But they missed a land drop, so they have a lot of spells. That's not a red source. Jesus. Yeah, my draw is bad. My draw in game 1 was bad. My draw in game 2 was bad. That's sort of like the saving grace I can excuse myself with here. Or excuse this deck with. But yeah, it's not a great look so far, I guess. And there's just a lot of like inconsistency issues I have with this deck that would be solved with running 4 Sleight of Hands. All right, I made my point. Sorry, guys. Like, this game was winnable if I hit the red source at some point. It's kind of funny. Like, one game I'm ultra flooded, the other game I'm screwed. Yeah. Okay, that's a small victory for me. I mean, I might actually make a comeback here. If it's possible. It's certainly possible. I hope they don't have Spell Pierce. think I bounced my Beanstalk. I think it's better than bouncing Talent. Tarnation Vista. The tapped red source. Oh my god. Please, please, Lord. Have mercy. Mercy upon my soul. God. Oh, this deck. The premise of this deck is cool, but I feel like the implementation is not at its best yet. That's sort of my vibe right now. Like, maybe you just run like 2 of these, you know what I mean? And only like 2 analyzers. And then no dispersals. Like, I would actually be able to maybe win this game. Yeah, I mean, this game was certainly winnable. Like, against the slower draw, you can just out-control them, right? Because your late game is super good. Now we're in Burst Lightning kicked range at this point, so we have to get this game over. There's the Into the Flood Maw. Right on time. Right on time. Frustrating game. Frustrating game, to say the least. Let's see. Let's see. Alright, let's just pass the turn, I guess. Yeah. Let's save us. I think they're gonna activate the talent. What I'm thinking here. So I want to respond to that by bouncing it. Actually. Let's use the more expensive card, right? I'm gonna bounce a talent at this point. Can I have too much card draw? Okay. Yep. Yep. Not activated in a vacuum, huh? Can play my 4/5 now. Okay. Another rage. Could play around the rage by beanstalking, I guess. But I do have the Flood Maw as insurance. The Burst Lightning is lethal. This gives them also 2 creatures on the ground, which isn't great. The Vista makes 2 mana here. Four mana, actually. Right. We do have white. Yeah, I mean, this game was winnable, but I needed to hit a little bit earlier. Yeah, the Ghost Vacuum is shutting off my thingy. My talent stuff. 4 this time, pick enough. It's funny. With free life. So if they get Rage back, I'm exactly dead if I just stay back with the Otter. Put this on green, I guess. So I guess I can just attack with this. Okay. They find Flood Maw Rage, I'm dead. This might be again kind of close. Like last game was close too. If I had like 1 untapped mana, or if like the Hearth Elemental would have been 1 mana cheaper, I could have given it haste and attack for 9 in game 1 to kill them. To be fair, they had a scuffed draw as well, never hitting like the 3rd land. Okay, that's beatable. Kinda. With a good draw. I have a lot of mana here. I could like activate talent. 4, 5, 6, at 9. Torch this, attack all. This is a free, this is a free, this is a free. They jump here, take 9. I think I got him. Right? I think so. 4, 5, yeah, no? Yeah, I have him. Woo! Somehow, we're playing a game free. Crazy. I'm 1 short. Am I 1 short? I'm 1 short. No, I'm not 1 short, right? I think I got him. Yeah. I'm not 1 short, so I was panicking for a moment. I'm okay. Ooh, Tarnation Vista. Okay, Tarnation Vista. You're proving a point right now. You're proving a point. Oh, I'm one damage short actually. Frick. Oh, I miscalculated. I'm 1 damage short. Ah. Right, they block here, take 8. Ah. I guess this guy doesn't have to attack then. Man. Ah, never lucky. Oh. I guess the Hearth Elemental was not meant to attack. So close. I miscalculated. Man. Damn it. If I would have just played Beanstalk, I would have won the game. Into the Flood Maw on the Draycatcher. I would have had enough prowess. I spent 9 mana to cast a Torch the Tower that turn, and that didn't turn out to be enough. Okay, well, I mean, I don't want to fall a bad verdict on the deck. Those 2 games were kind of close. They were kind of close. And this game was really scuffed. Really bad draw. Somehow surviving for long enough. To be fair, they didn't have Cori-Steel Cutter, I guess. Yeah. Really weird one. Game 1 was also somewhat close. I flooded out heavily. So I'm honestly kind of impressed by this deck. It's kind of cool, and I feel like it's more tunable. So there's that. All right, well, I think that's it though for this video. It's been a long one, been exciting and fun to play with this deck. Really cool innovation by Maynard, and congratulations to Kevin Actel for qualifying for the Pro Tour yet again, or if he already was, then congrats to the top 8. Yeah, that was fun one. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this content, if you like the video, give it a like. 3 likes in 3 seconds. And yeah, subscribe if you haven't yet, I guess. The usual. All right, guys, take care. Peace out. See you next time.